First, I'm going to launch the DAW, or the Digital Audio Workstation. Here I already have a track that's been pre-recorded, loaded. It has, as you can see, bass, guitar, guitar left, guitar right. I'm going to go ahead and re-record some new tracks. I'm going to go and record a new bass. So I'll arm this track for recording. Mute this. Make sure that the metronome is on. So I recorded the takes, a couple takes for the bass, a couple takes for the guitars, left and right. And as far as guitar videos go, you can either set up your camera, record live, and then, you know, the audio you capture is what is the audio that's going to be on your video. Or you can do what a lot of other people do is pre-record all the audio tracks, then mime or sync the guitar playing. And I mean, that's also very viable. That's how they do music videos. I've done both. I've done pre-recorded tracks, then mimed the video, and I always have a harder time with those videos because my playing or my singing, if it's off a little bit, I notice it, and I'm a perfectionist, so it doesn't come out well. So as of late, I've been doing several takes, then each take match it to the audio of that video. So I did 3 takes. I did a couple takes for the bass, 1 take for the left guitar, and 1 take for the right guitar. Now I'm going to edit the audio. You're going to see here, I have my Reaper opened. We can go to the bass. So here you see this is the 1 track of the first bass video I did, and this is a 2nd track. I have it muted. This is a pre-recorded track that I did when I recorded this audio. I have that muted as well. I just use a bass preset, which sounds fine for me. I have also no problem using presets. A lot of people you see, they say that using presets is cheating, but for the most part, I'll look up a preset, then try to tweak it to what I want it to sound like. So you could either come up with your own presets or your own tools, but if you're starting, use presets. They're there for a reason. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's the bass. For the guitar, I'm going to use an amp sim. The amp sim I usually use is Native Instruments Guitar Rig 5. It's a perfect amp sim. Another thing you can do is just use your amplifier and put a microphone to the amplifier. That's also good too. But you'll have to edit that audio and post anyways. You have to add EQ, you know, a little compression, things like that. So I have a preset saved for this one called Rhythm 1. It's based on an Angus Young type of sound. Now let's hear the guitar track soloed. Now we're in the full mix. Okay, that doesn't sound bad, but it sounds a little muddy. So I'm going to add a little bit of EQ and compression. I'm going to come here, Solid State Logic from Waves plugins. I'm going to use a rhythm guitar compressor. It's a preset, but that's where it's good to start with presets, and then you go, you know, finding what you can edit and get the sound you're looking for. So let's see what that sounds like solo. Now with the mix. It's already sitting a little better in the mix. This preset is pretty good, but like I said before, you can come up with your own preset. Let's now use an EQ. I use the plugin from Reaper, which is, for my purposes, perfect. I have many EQ plugins, but I always default to this one. Very simple to use and gets the job done. So let's open that up. Let's solo this track. Okay. So you see there's a little bit of peaking here. can lower that a little bit and drop some of the bass. So that's pretty good. If you're using a very high gain amp sim, you can drop off some of the high end to kill some of that digital harshness. So let's see what that sounds like with the mix. Okay, so I'm gonna do that to the other track. Probably add a little different sounding amp, a little bit different sounding reverb, just to give it more more width, and so it can. And as you can see, once you start adding compression and reverb, these things start to really sit in the mix very well. You know, you want your bass to be heard, you want the guitars to be heard, but you also want the kick drum to be heard. So that's where the EQ and the compression come in. If you just record everything and just render it, it's gonna sound pretty messy with a lot of mid-range, you know, because every instrument has mid-range frequencies. Obviously, the guitars and vocals occupy a lot of mid-range frequencies. You want to edit those so they sit well in the mix. You want to be able to hear every instrument individually if you focus on it, but you also want to the whole mix to sound very, I guess, glued, and that's what the compressor is good for. So I'm going to render this, and then now I'm going to go and edit the videos. Okay, so now we're going to do the video portion of this editing. I already have all the files for the video that I need. I always record with 2 cameras, multiple takes at different angles, just, you know, to give variation and to make the video look a little cooler. All right, so I have 1 bass, 2 bass, 3 bass. Now, there you have the audio files with the video files. And here is where you align the waveforms to make sure that the video is in sync. Because after all, you're gonna mute all this audio and replace it with the pre-recorded audio from the digital audio workstation. And that file has already been rendered and it's right here. So let's open it. So once you're done, this is gonna be soloed. So all you're gonna hear is this. Okay. So now let's align all the videos. I started with a metronome so you can hear the metronome clicks. Some people use hand claps at the beginning of the video as their guide. They both are fine. This is the first video. Okay, so I start playing bass right there. Split that, delete this. Off to the next file. Alright, so got those 2 soloed. Okay, so I got that. Now off to the next track. Okay, so all the tracks are lined up. Now using Shift and Select, or just Shift and click, I can select all the tracks. Make sure all are selected, and then snap them or move them all the way to the beginning. All right. Okay, that should be fine. So let's see now. Let's see now if they are all synced up. So we can go soloing one by one. Okay, so now I'm going to begin editing the video takes. It's cool if you edit video sometimes to the beat of the song. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then change here. So split that. And then it'll look like this. And then maybe here. And then when the guitars come in, just about there, and split, split. You can either delete these tracks, or bring the opacity all the way down so you don't see them anymore. And you just go editing as along the video as you see fit. You can add multi-track views, which will look something like this. So you can have, so you can crop your video. And there you have a four window view. And that's pretty cool if you're playing different instruments and you want to kind of all feature them and for a little bit, or if you have several musicians that are working, you know, let's say for instance, in different countries, you know, and you want to record a video together, whoever's editing the video can do something like that too.